Hello my lovely friends and welcome back to a new video. I will do my first Q&A video today. It is Saturday, super gloomy outside, so yeah, perfect to film a cozy Q&A. I'm sitting here on my couch in the studio with my matcha, so yeah, this will be hopefully very cozy. And yeah, I got lots of questions over on Instagram and also a few on my YouTube channel. I don't think that I will be able to answer all of them because yeah, then the video will just be over an hour long. But I will definitely answer the ones that I got multiple times. So yeah, let's get into it. I have my phone here with all of the questions and I also wrote down some notes for myself for some more in-depth questions to answer them right, so I don't forget anything. But first, for the new ones here, I quickly want to introduce myself. So hello, I'm Anna. I'm an illustrator and small business owner. I have my shop over on Etsy where I sell cute illustrated products, and then I also run a Patreon, and I also do a lot of brand collaborations, so like content creation and stuff like that. So yeah, let's get into all the questions that I got. I will categorize this into business and shop related questions, then into art related questions, then I have 2 for gear and editing, and then also a few private questions. So let's start with business and shop. The ones that I got the most are: how did you start your business? How did you grow it? How long did it take you to go full time as a small business owner? Did you start your business with physical or with digital products? And how many years do you work as a freelance illustrator? I got all of these questions multiple times, and I put them all together because I will just explain how I started, and during explaining it I will just go through all the questions. So when we moved here back in 2019, I was working in a design agency, and the job was very far away from here because we moved to another state, but they accepted it that I can work from home for a while, like until they find someone new or until I find something else to work. And I already knew for a very long time that I want to get self-employed, so I thought this is the best time to try it. So I researched a lot online about how to get self-employed in Austria, and I found such a program that you can do here in Austria at our employment center. And the program was like that they help you to get self-employed and start with your business. So I went there, told them my business idea. Back then I wanted to be self-employed with graphic design because this was something that I already worked. And they accepted me. So then I had to quit my job and was doing this program for half a year, and for this time I got paid from the employment center, and I was allowed to work part-time but only a couple of hours a week, so I think it was 8 hours. So this is what I did, and this also included a lot of courses about how to start your business, about all the taxes stuff, how you have to register your business in Austria and everything like that. So then after this program I started working as a freelance graphic and web designer, but my plan was actually to work as an illustrator only. So I started my Instagram account back then and started to post my art online. This was also the time where I got my first iPad and started using Procreate. So I was participating in a lot of challenges, was drawing in my free time and in the evenings, on the weekends, and just tried to post as much as possible on my Instagram. Then I pretty quickly started to post every day, or like nearly every day, because I really wanted to grow my Instagram account. After a while I started to take my Fridays off of design work and only do illustration work on that day. So I was doing design and web. Are you done? Yes, okay. So I was doing design work and web designs from Monday to Thursday, and then had a whole day, so the whole Friday, just for my illustration work. And my account really started to grow. Next step was starting an Etsy shop. I think I started just with selling greeting cards and hand-painted wooden slices. And yeah, then everything started to kind of roll from that point. So I got a printer. I think this was in 2020 when I got him. And yeah, started to print my own art prints and using sticker paper, printing stickers, cutting them by hand back then, and yeah, making such sticker packs and selling them on Etsy. So then I made more and more sales and slowly started to outsource products. So my first ever product that I outsourced was an acrylic keychain that I made with Vogress. Yeah, really nice. I was so proud of it. I really quickly sold all the keychains and then tried another product, then another product, and yeah, this is just how it went from then. After I had quite a good amount of followers on my Instagram account, I decided to open a Patreon. This wasn't planned really good back then because the first year I had nearly no Patreons. I wasn't really doing a good marketing for my Patreon back then, so yeah, it was a little bit disappointing. But after a year it started to get better, and yeah, I got more and more Patreons over there. And then I decided to start my YouTube and a TikTok, and about 2 years ago I slowly started to do less and less design work and was concentrating more on only doing illustration work. And 2024 was the first year where I didn't have any design clients at all, and yeah, was only doing illustration. So this year is actually just the second year where I only do illustration and nothing else. So yeah, I would say it took me about 4 years to go full-time with my small business like it is now, but I definitely still don't make that amount of money that I want to make. And without my husband, I also wouldn't be able to afford such a big house with this studio, with a garden, with a pool, with a leasing car. This just wouldn't be possible alone. So I would just live in a usual apartment with an old car and not with a leasing car. But yeah, this is how I started. Then the next question is, did you have a lot of followers at that time when you started your business? So I did not have a lot of followers when I started my business. I kind of started my Etsy shop pretty early and it grew with my social media account. Yeah, but I wouldn't recommend opening a Patreon too early, because when you open a Patreon, you really rely on your followers, because you like try to drag your followers from your social media to your Patreon. And with opening an Etsy, it's a little bit different because Etsy is a search engine. So Etsy also gets you customers. Not only you do bring your customers to Etsy. So yeah, it is just a little bit easier with that. Then the next one is, if you start your art business again, which products are you going to make and sell first? I think this would definitely depend on the budget that I have. If I would have a budget to buy a printer and a cutting machine like a Silhouette, I would definitely start with selling sticker sheets and stickers. If I would start without any budget, I think I would start with digital products first, or yeah, maybe with selling commissions. Then I got a really interesting one. I'm also interested in starting my own business, but I'm afraid I won't be able to attract many customers from outside my country. The problem is the art market in my country isn't very promising, and I would love to be able to ship internationally. My question is, do you get plenty of international orders? And in your experience, how has the shipping fee affect your business? So I would definitely say that the art market in that area that I now work in is also not that promising in Austria. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know, but based on my research back then, I thought that I could only work as an editorial illustrator or maybe children's books. Yeah, just something like that pops up as the first things when you search about an art career. And most of my customers are actually from outside of Austria. So I would say even 99% are from all around the world and definitely not from Austria. Yeah, so I would definitely say that you can start your Etsy shop or your shop and focus on selling worldwide and not in your country. My focus point never was selling in Austria because I knew that we don't have like this big community of art lovers that like collect stickers and illustration postcards and would subscribe to a Patreon like it is in the US. So I was always thinking from the beginning that I want to focus on the US market and yeah, on the rest of the world. I definitely think that I would get more orders if the shipping would be less expensive. Shipping gets more and more expensive with every year, which is just really annoying. But yeah, that's how it is. I can't do anything about that. Where do you print your postcards? I get them printed by Mo now. I will put it up here. I don't know how to pronounce it. I really love their quality. They are a little pricey, but definitely worth it. Then the next question is, where do you get inspiration for new products? A lot of Pinterest from other artists. I save a lot on my Instagram when I see something that I like from another artist where yeah, I think that this might also look cute with my products. And I have a board over on Pinterest with like product inspiration stuff. Yeah, I mostly make products that I myself also would use. I think this is also why it is so hard for me to start making like t-shirts and sweaters and stuff like that, because I'm not the type of person that wears t-shirts with big prints on them, but I really need to start doing that, although I won't wear them, I think. And then the last business and shop related question is, how do you get sponsorships? I get my sponsorships through my social media. I get emails daily. I think I'm very lucky regarding that because I just reached out to a company once. It was in the very beginning of my art business journey, and yeah, they accepted me. And from then, after I posted these collaboration videos with them, brands started to reach out to me, and yeah, this is how it went. Okay, I really quickly have to change how I sit because everything hurts already. Okay, so the next category is art related, and the first question is, how did you get into illustration? Where did you learn to draw? How did you learn to draw, and how long did it take you to get this good? Thank you. I got a lot of similar questions. Yeah, I was drawing since I was a kid, so I think I just always loved drawing, and then I stopped drawing for a while during my teenage years, and then picked it up again in my mid-20s, I would say. Yes, I think early to mid-20s I started to illustrate again, and yeah, then just remembered how much I loved doing art when I was a kid. I mean, I always knew that I wanted to work in something creative, but I was more thinking of doing graphic design and not illustration. But yeah, when I picked up drawing again in my 20s, I thought maybe I could work as a children's book illustrator or in editorial. So yeah, I started working on my children's books portfolio back then. I learned everything by myself by watching YouTube videos and a lot of Skillshare back then. And during that time, I also started to follow artists on YouTube like Lee Alexson, Catnip, or Apple Cheeks. And my dream or vision of being an illustrator in children's book or anything else changed after I started watching watching them, I really wanted to work like them. I had no idea that I could work like that before I found these artists on YouTube. And yeah, just never thought that I could make money online with art like that. And yeah, I think I really started to see progress in my art when we moved here and when I got my first iPad. For that, I mostly was just experimenting, drawing a lot with colored pencils, with watercolor. All these years before I got my iPad, of course, also were very important to just practice and stuff like that. But I think that I really got into drawing every day and stuff like that when I got my iPad. Then I have, what method do you use to improve your art skills? Back then, when I just started out, daily sketching definitely did a lot in improving my art skills. I don't do that often anymore. I really need to start with daily sketches again, especially as I'm currently just in my comfort zone drawing just my foxes and stuff like that. But yeah, I really want to improve my art again. So yeah, I really need to start focusing on daily sketching again. And yeah, then just a lot of researching. Back then, when I was creating my children's book portfolio, I was watching a lot of drawing videos, like how other artists draw. Of course, not copying them, but like studying how they draw something or how they create textures and stuff like that. Then we have, how did you choose your art style and color palette? I got this question so many times. I think this was the most asked question, like, how did you choose your art style? Yeah, the art style question. So I really have to tell you guys, don't focus that much on finding your art style in the beginning. It will just evolve naturally over time. It comes through drawing daily, through practicing and sketching daily, through your taste. And yeah, when you draw every day, you will find out what you like to draw, like what you enjoy to draw, what are your preferences, what colors do you like, and stuff like that. Yeah, so you will find out how you enjoy to draw, what you like drawing. Do you like drawing big eyes or dotted eyes and stuff like that? And through that, you will build your art style. So yeah, it of course takes time if you're just starting out. Yeah, I would definitely say don't focus on that in the beginning. Really just do practice, do experiment a lot. And yeah, my color palette is actually just my personal taste of colors and the colors that just fit to orange, because I mostly draw foxes, so the colors around the fox just somehow needs to fit to orange. So yeah, I built my color palette over the years. It definitely also is changing. It is still changing. I still like to experiment with the new colors like purple lately or darker blues. Then the next one is, what inspires you? Oh, I love that question. I started to draw like I draw now when we moved here. So I would say what inspires me the most is definitely the surroundings here, this house, then all the interior. Like I really love to go thrifting and buying vintage decor stuff for the house, and I also love to draw like vintage things. So definitely that. This is the most inspiration, like going through the forest and going on walks with my dog. Then of course also old children's books like Beatrix Potter, the Bramley Hedge series, Frog and Toad, and also vintage Russian children's books. Next one is, how do you keep everything so organized and tidy in your studio? It always looks fabulous. Thank you so much. But it definitely does not look fabulous all the time. I just film the corners of the studio that are currently tidy. So if I would rotate my camera to the other side of the studio, there are a lot of boxes that I need to carry away and yeah, throw all the papers out. The only thing that is always tidy is my desk, because I just can't concentrate when working when my desk is a mess. Yeah, everything else is most of the time a mess. Because when I work here, just everything gets messy, and yeah, then I just try to shovel everything in a corner and then film the clean corner. I think a lot of us are doing it that way, and it just looks like the studio is always tidy. Then the next category is gear and editing. I will just quickly go through that because I actually have a video about my gear. But the first question I got is, what kind of computer and tablet do you use? I now have the Mac Studio M3 Ultra and the newest iPad Pro 13-inch. And the lighting and editing, I just have a simple newer light with a softbox. I don't think that they produce it anymore. But if I would get a new light now, I would choose a different one because I can't change the color temperature of this one, which is just not that nice. And for editing, I use Final Cut Pro, and for Reels, I used CapCut, but now I also use Final Cut Pro. And the last category is private questions. So the first one in the private category is, did you study art or any related education? I did not study art. I always wanted to go to art school, but yeah, it just wasn't possible. Back then, when I was a teenager, I wasn't allowed to go to a design or art school. Back then, most people just thought that art or design is just nothing where you can make money from. So I had to go to, I think it's called business school in English, and I hated it. I was so bad there. Yeah, and then I just started to work. And yeah, then I worked for a lot of years. And in my mid-20s, I started to go to like an evening school for design. It was like a 3-year evening school where I went, I think, 3 or 4 days a week. It was for media design and media informatics. I think it's media informatics in English. And yeah, I learned there how to use Adobe programs, how to code, how to design websites, how to take photos, and a lot of business things as well. So yeah, it was really nice there. So the next one is, did you have other jobs before doing art? Yes, I did have a lot of other jobs before doing art. I was working as a salesperson for many years. I was working at H&M for a lot of years, and then lots of other clothing shops, and also at a pet food store and at a bakery. This was my very first job. And yeah, I hated all of these jobs. It was so hard for me to keep them. I always got depression and panic attacks and anxiety after a while working. And yeah, then I went to the evening school and got a job in a graphic design agency, and I thought it would be better now. But this job again pushed me into depression and anxiety. It was the worst depression phase that I ever had back then. I mean, it's definitely not because of working a normal job. It was always like the cherry on top of everything else, like childhood trauma that wasn't solved and stuff like that. But I very long thought that I'm not normal because I always got ill with my mental health when working a usual job. And yeah, but since I'm self-employed and since I live here and not in a city anymore, I had no more panic attacks, no more depression phases. So yeah, going self-employed really kinda saved my mental health. Of course, also going to therapy, but I just go to therapy for about a year. Yeah. that's how it was. I love the next question. What do you do to keep your adorable pups occupied and entertained so they don't interrupt you while you're working? They always seem so calm. So this one next to me. So when I got him, I mostly was in the kitchen with him, and when I then started to work in the art studio again, I, of course, took him with me, but I never played with him in this room. So since the beginning, this was like the calm space for him, or like the relaxing room. So there are no toys in this room, no playing in this room, and yeah, no running around and stuff like that. He was just always on this couch. He loves this couch, and he's just chilling here and sleeping. And when we are going back into the main house and like into the kitchen and into the bedroom area, he starts to play and run around, because yeah, this was the room where we always played since his puppy time. But I think he's also a pretty calm dog when he's in a calm environment. So when he feels safe, like here at home, then he just sleeps a lot. And yeah, like dogs usually do, dogs sleep most of the hours of the day. But when you go outside with him, like in a city or in a crowded space, he's extremely stressed and he's getting diarrhea, and yeah, it's just very hard for him. And the other dog, he unfortunately passed away last December, but he was already very old, so he was just sleeping and chilling, and this is why he was always so calm inside the studio. Then the next one is, how did you find the studio space? I actually didn't find it. The studio space is part of the house that I live in. The ones that lived here before built this studio above the shed, and they also built a terrace and a bridge that is connected to the main house. This is how I found the studio. It was just the perfect room within the house for a studio. Then, very interesting question, why are you so drawn to foxes? Yeah, it's my favorite animal, and it's now also kind of my comfort zone when drawing. I just was drawing foxes so often that it's so easy for me to draw them. But yeah, it also definitely has something to do with my childhood. I recently talked about that with my therapist. I very often had this dream when I was 4, I think, about having a fox friend. And when we moved here to Austria from Russia, I mean, I was born here, but we went back to Russia when I was a baby, and then came back here when I was, I think, 5 years old. And I was only speaking Russian, so I had no friends here as I couldn't speak German. I also wasn't going to kindergarten. I just started learning German when I started to go to school. So I think I was really lonely back then, and I was imagining having like this fox friend, this imagination fox friend. So I think this is also something that has to do with this. But yeah, this is something for a separate video, I think. Yeah, let me know if you would love to know more about that. And the last question is, would you do a house tour? I would love to do a house tour, but the house just isn't finished yet. A lot inside the house is still a mess. Like, we haven't done anything to the bathroom. I really don't like it, so I also don't want to show it. The only room that we renovated is the kitchen, and currently we are also renovating the living room. So we are building a big bookshelf there, and we will paint the walls and everything. So yeah, I think I will wait with showing off the house at least until the living room is done. When I film inside the house, I mostly only film in the kitchen, because the kitchen already looks really nice. It's still not completely done, yet, but yeah, it just already looks the way how I want it to be. So I don't feel quite ready now to show off the rest of the house. And yeah, this is it. I think this will be a very long video. Yeah, I hope that this was interesting for you. If you have any further questions, then let me know down in the comments and I will make a new Q&A video, maybe next year or in autumn or winter. I hope you are having a great day or evening, and I will see you hopefully in the next week with a new video. Bye!